Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we are going to learn the last topic of chapter 6.7, which is impacts of tourism. Okay, learning objectives for today. Student will be able to understand and describe the main impacts of tourism. Okay, with that, every one of you will be able to identify the positive and negative impacts of tourism. Okay, before we moving on the impacts, okay, let's redefine what is meant by impacts of tourism. Okay, the impact of tourism can be referred to as the outcome or results of incoming tourists or visitors into a country, and in what way they can affect the people, environment, and the government as well as the economy. Okay, don't forget that tourists here, okay, it refer to domestic or local as well. Okay, the dinner tourist is not only international, but it also involve the local people. Okay, the dinner impacts of tourism ini any kesan-kesan yang datang daripada incoming tourists in which they will affect the people, environment, government, and then economy. Okay, first of all, okay, now impacts of tourism can be categorized into three: economic, socio-cultural, and environment. For each of these impacts, we try to divide it into two. One is positive impact and one is negative impacts. Okay, now the first one, positive economic impacts of tourism. Okay, what are the positive impacts of tourism on the economy? Okay, number one, increase economic growth. Okay, tourism now become popular and it can increase a lot of revenue to the economy of a country. How the country can benefit from this? Okay, the tourists come to the country. Okay, the tourists come to the country, and when they come to the country, they will think of where they are going to stay, where they are going to shop, where they're going to visit. For example, okay, the dinner, they will spend their money to the country, to the destination. Therefore, the economy of the local destination or the local country will gain the revenue. Okay, and then number two. Okay, number two. Okay, tourism can also create a lot of jobs. Jobs will be widely available. Okay, yang daripada gambar ni, airline industry, you can see ada pilot and then ada a few flight attendants. Okay, and then number three. Increase the demand for services. Tourism also involved in the increase of demand for services, usually in terms of tourists. Okay, let's say in terms of accommodation, when the tourists stay at a particular accommodation, they will demand for a lot services as well as the facilities. Okay, makin tinggi dia punya demand, makin banyak revenue income yang tadi ekonomi itu akan dapat. Okay, and then now negative economic impacts of tourism. Okay, what are the negative economic impacts of tourism? This one you cannot find. You cannot find in your textbook, but this is just for your information. Okay, the prices of goods are increased. Okay, these prices of goods tadi dia mungkin naik due to the uh, tendency of the local viewpoint of the wealthier tourists. Turis ini biasanya kalau datang, they will be considered as wealthier, okay, yang kaya. Jadi when they come to visit the country, the local punya products goods will be increased as well. So this can affect the local people. Okay, jadinya interesting. Okay, inflation will be happen. Inflation ini inflasi. Okay, jadi the local people have to save money. Okay, number two, seasonal employment. This is a situation where the employment only available in some season. For example, like sporting events. Okay, sporting event macam World Cup. Jadi macam World Cup, the tourists, there will be lot of tourist visitors come to the country and they are supporting their country. With that, a lot of local people will be employed, but only that time saja. So that's why we call it seasonal employment. Once after the World Cup is over, then the local people will be unemployed and search for other kind of jobs again. Okay, number three, countries also ada yang over dependent on tourism industry. Okay, we can say that we just have to rely on tourism industry. It's better for the country to open up other kind of industries selain daripada tourism. Okay, now impacts. Okay, another impact is socio-cultural. Okay, what is the positive impacts of socio-cultural impacts on tourism? Okay, number one, cultural exchange. Okay, cultural exchange ini maksudnya the exchange of culture between the tourists and then the tourists and as well as the local people in term of dia punya food. Okay, makanan, the way how they dress, and then how they speak. Languages masuk juga. Okay, so they get to know with each other. Okay, number two. Okay, number two, preservation of local cultures and tradition. Okay, when the tourists come to our country, okay, we can preserve our own local cultures and tradition by showing them our cultures. Okay, number three. Okay, improve facilities and infrastructure. Ini kebaikan society ya. Okay. Due to the coming of the tourists, the country's facilities and infrastructure such as like roads, okay, roads will be getting improved, makin better. Then bridges, okay, and then attraction pun makin bertambah, makin tambah attraction kita ni. Jadi yang ni it can lead to better standard of living, particularly our social society kita ni masyarakat. Okay, next one. Okay, apa yang pernah negatif? Okay, negative impacts of social cultural sini adalah eroding traditional society. It can lead to the eroding traditional society and culture. Okay, foreign culture might pollute the local culture. How that can be happen? Okay, first, okay, the young generation. Ani normally young generation. The young generation can copy lifestyle such as the dress code of the Westerners ataupun the tourists. Languages also can be copied from the tourists. Food and then locals are influenced by the songs from overseas and tourists. Okay. Now, next one. Okay, positive environmental impacts of tourism. Okay, yang ni in terms of environmental impacts. Okay, positive environmental impacts of tourism. Okay, number one, preservation of natural flora and fauna. This one, I just give you one example saja. Preservation of natural flora and fauna. Artinya, our plants, okay, plant and wildlife are preserved. Okay, there are a lot of natural landscape here yang tadi ada di Brunei, such as macam Temburong area, macam Kuala Belalong, Ulu Temburong, and then di Tutong tadi ada Tasik Merimbun. Okay, jadi this area are well preserved in Brunei. Okay, now we move on to the negative impacts of tourism on the environment. Okay, tourists can damage to the environment of the country. How can this happen? Okay, through littering. Littering to the Okay, littering ni macam buang sampah Okay, and then number two, okay, second one, pollution. Pollution can be divided into three: air, water, as well as the land pollution. Land pollution, yes, as you can see from these pictures. Okay, macam mana so land, okay, land pollution. Okay, water pollution macam the tourist throw empty bottles ataupun boleh can damage to the environment, the surroundings. Okay, plant and animal species are so endangered. Okay, particularly yang ni adalah refer to the ecotourist. Ecotourist ni they always have the motive to visit the ecology of the environment. Ecology maksudnya macam the nature. They want to visit the national parks. Okay, so these plants and animal species are endangered. Okay, now, yang ini adalah the summary of the impacts what we have learned for today. The social, cultural impacts, economic impacts, and environmental impacts. So don't forget that ia ada positive and negative impacts. Okay, with that I end our lesson. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much.